Apparently, my last post ruffled some feathers, but I really don't care. Landlords are literally sharks. They are eating people alive just because they can. They are raising rent just because they can. I personally think there needs to be a law to where, like, say this landlord owns this house outright. I think there needs to be a law that they're only allowed to charge like an X amount of the home's value, not 15, 16, 17, $1,800 a month just because it's in a nice neighborhood and everybody.
What kind of socialist nonsense is this? So, wait a minute. If a person pays off their home or if a person owns something outright, then they need to be penalized and they can't charge whatever value that they deem necessary. Now, remember, you don't have to live there, right? But somebody should be penalized because their home is paid off? Get the hell out of here, bro.
Else around is charging the same. And don't get me started on rental agencies that are hiking up the price because they get a cut of it. And then you have investors that are buying houses or foreclosures for pennies on the dollar and doing basic upgrades and then turning around and selling it for, or not selling it, renting it for $1,500 to $2,000 a month.
All right, hold on. Let me just give some insight. So, first of all, the real estate agencies have nothing to do with the price that the person charges. The property management company gets 10%, sometimes a little bit more, depending on what the property is and all of that stuff. They may get a percentage in order to manage the property, the day to day operations. Most people that own single family homes are not institutional investors. They are a person that own one property, maybe two if they moved out and they couldn't sell it or they don't want to sell it. And so they decided to rent it out, but they are not rich. All right. They are not rich whatsoever. Secondly, you can't take your socialist liberal ways because you don't like what it is that you got to pay. If you don't like it, you can either go and buy one yourself or you can go and move into a property that's more affordable for you. But you don't get to live in the best places and then get to choose what you want to pay. That's not how it works. See, I come from a space where we actually had to live in the hood. We lived in the hood until we could do better. And we wasn't afforded the right to be able to go out and live in a phenomenal neighborhood but not have to pay the expenses that come along with it. This is such a privileged, entitled mindset that these people need to take over to Canada and go and live over there.